We're going to get started. It is 7:04. And this is going to be a long one. So we are going to go through the entire newsletter that you guys got today. And it is 13 pages long. So welcome everybody. If you don't know me already, my name is Rayna. I'm the show secretary and program manager. And we have Molly Hutchison with us, who is our program assistant. And we are in the home stretch. Ride times and stabling have gone out today. And we have a lot of information to go over. So I'm going to go through the newsletter that went out and touch on some important points. I have some questions that people sent ahead of time, so I will answer those. And then we will have room for questions at the end. And Molly will be monitoring questions, but please hold. And you can ask your questions as they come to you, but just know that you're not going to get a response until closer to the end of the webinar. And we ask those of you watching to please not answer those questions for us. We know you guys mean well and you're trying to help, but information does change. And we want to make sure we get the right information to everybody. So, as you guys know, ride times and stall assignments are out. If you did not see them, they are either on your horse's entry profile, which if you can see my screen, you can get to by just going to entries here. You can go to ride times and stall assignments, and you can find them there as well. They're also linked in this newsletter. If this newsletter didn't make its way into your inbox, you can find it through the trainer portal. Just go to the portal and there is a trainer newsletter square button at the left corner, top corner. This year's schedule was really tight and really tough to figure out. So if you don't like your ride times, you're going to need to network amongst yourselves to switch them. I cannot take requests without solutions. So use the trainers group and let people know what your current ride times are and what you're looking to switch to. And if they're able to help you out, hopefully someone will jump in. If that's the case, once you guys have figured it out, send me an email and make sure you copy the person, the trainer that you're going to be switching ride times with. Let me know what you want to do. If I can make it happen, there will be a $75 change fee. Once that is paid, I will make the switch happen. I can't promise that just because you find someone willing to switch that is actually feasible, because you do have to remember that we have some variations even in the disciplines themselves. We have English tests, Western tests for dressage. We've got different height changes for the jumping disciplines and so on. So that covers ride times, that portion of it anyway. Stabling assignments are also out. Same thing. If you've got an issue with it, try to network amongst your people and see if you can come up with a fix. I will say that we noticed that we had there was some confusion over barn 8 through 12 stall numbers. Some people thought that their stalls were not in succession, but the stalls are actually numbered in quadrants. So if you're in barns 8 through 12 and it looks like your stalls aren't next to each other because you're in 12 and 26, if I'm remembering the numbers correctly, they are next to each other. It's just how the stalls are numbered. There is a chart that shows you the layout of those stalls that is now posted on the stabling page, and it is posted in the group as well on Facebook. But if you have questions or issues with your stall assignments, work on a solution and then email Molly, and that's mhutchison@therrp.org. I take care of ride times and she takes care of stabling. Be nice to both of us, please. If you need to add a tack stall, stuff like that, you're going to want to reach out to Molly. Can't promise at this point that if you want to add an additional stall, that one, we can accommodate it, two, that you will be able to get it anywhere near your current stalls. So I'm seeing a comment on Facebook asking if we are speaking. Can everybody hear us? Or me, I should say. You can let me know in Zoom as well. Okay, so CC says you guys can hear me, so I will continue on. So the next section of the newsletter is about how to properly get into contact with us. Right now, at this current moment for the next week, as always, the best way to reach me is email, and that's secretary@therrp.org. We do have an office phone here. I will say that that's not the best way to get in touch with us. The best way to get in touch with us is email. We will be hitting the road next Saturday, October 7th. So at that point, if you want to get in touch with us, there is a phone number in this newsletter as well. That's to my cell. And that's going to be the best way to get in touch with me in emergent situations for anything related to on-site makeover problems. If it's something that can wait to be answered until after the makeover, please send me an email. But if it has anything to do with the makeover and it's timely, text or call me. I'd say I'd prefer for you to text me because I'm likely going to be in an environment where it's going to be hard for me to hear you. If you call me, I'm not going to be able to pick up right away. But if you call me and leave a detailed voicemail, I'll step into a quiet room and I'll call you back. So again, that's starting on October 7th, next Saturday. If you want to reach me, use the phone number that is in this newsletter. It's 410-775-6750. Under no circumstances should you be messaging me or any other staff member on social media. That is not an appropriate way to get into contact with us. Personally, for me, I know that when I see something come in my Facebook Messenger that looks like it may be from a makeover trainer, it just gets deleted. I don't even open it. And it's not because I'm trying to be rude. I have to have my boundaries. I know we use our trainers group for work, but apart from that, my Facebook is my Facebook. It's not for work. And there are two ways to get in touch with me, and that's by email and by the phone number in this newsletter. And please don't message any other staff members as well. The Facebook group, again, just a reminder, that is for networking purposes, getting training advice from trainers, just kind of perspective. It is not for rule questions or event related questions, anything that should be answered from the staff. I'm not trying to make your life difficult, but it is hard for us to moderate that group sometimes, and well-meaning people that might not have the correct information might give you the incorrect answer. So it is always best to go directly through staff, either through email or our phone number. We have a pinned post in the trainers group about how to use that group during the makeover. And that includes not using it for emergent stuff, because we do have admins that are part of our staff that have to approve those posts, and they might not get approved in a timely manner. So just take a look at that before the makeover starts to familiarize yourself with how to best use the trainers group during the makeover. So that's it for communications. Special award nominations. This newsletter would have been the second time you guys got this reminder, but special award nominations have been finalized by our staff and our sponsors. So please take a look at the entries list at your horse's profile. In the makeover details box, we'll have every special award that they have been nominated for. If you believe your horse is missing a special award nomination, there is a form that you need to fill out online and submit to let us know what that special award is and why they should be eligible for it. That is due by 5 p.m. this upcoming Monday, October 2nd. After that, we will not be changing special award nominations. So if you don't notice that your horse was not nominated for a special award they might have, we won't be able to change it at that point. So if you haven't looked yet, go do it now. But please note that broodmares are not eligible for special awards. They're doing the same test as the retiring racehorse division horses, but they are completely separate set of results, completely separate set of prize money. They are not integrated with the special awards. So that's a little bit of our homework. Now we're getting to arriving at the park. So first things first is stalls will not be ready for you guys to move in until noon on Monday, October 9th. So please do not come before noon, because your stall will not be ready. There's another show that is moving out that day, and the horse park needs time to turn the stalls over for you guys. Other than that, there's no restrictions as to when you can come and go from the park. So even if you come in at, say, 9 o'clock at night on Monday, that's when you happen to arrive, that's fine. You can move into your stalls. We will not be there to check you in for rider check-in. Rider check-in closes at, I believe, 5 o'clock on Monday. But that doesn't mean you can't go and move your horse into your stall. Your horse will not be able to leave their stall until they have a bridle number, but you can still move into those stalls. And same thing throughout the week. I know some of you guys are going to do your own night check. There's no hours. You can come and go as you please. There is an $18 charge per vehicle that is assessed by the horse park for the week. They'll get you for that at some point. There is a linked map in this newsletter as well that shows you where general parking is and different spots that you're going to need to know throughout the week. So familiarize yourself with that map as well. There's dropped trailer parking for those of you that are stabling on site, and it's far away from the barn. So keep that in mind. It's probably not a spot that you're going to want to be going back and forth from often. So if you didn't get a tack stall, you might want to get a tack stall. You might want to find someone to share a tack stall with, or you might want to get a golf cart so you can make easy trips back and forth. But it is a hike from stabling and from anything else. So if you're putting your trailer in drop trailer parking, and that's where it's going to have to go, make some arrangements for that and just keep that in mind. Stall assignments, the leading number of your stall number is what barn you're in. So 1047 is barn 10, 702 or 0702 is barn 7, stall 2. If you have A or B, like stall 700 something A, 700 something B, those are permanent tack stalls. Same thing, if you get to your stall and for whatever reason you're unable to put your horse inside of it, if there's something wrong with the stall, my number will be on a stall card on that stall. Call me, text me, let me know, and I will have maintenance out there to assess the situation. The competitor briefing is at 6 p.m. in the covered arena on Tuesday, the 10th. It is not technically mandatory, but it is strongly advised. It is about as mandatory as we can make it be without truly making it mandatory. This is going to be our last opportunity to cover any housekeeping, answer any questions you may have. So it's super important that you guys come to the competitor briefing. It's not live streamed, it's not recorded, it will not be available for viewing later. The only way to attend the live stream is in person. And again, that's 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Rider check-in. So the first thing you're going to do after you get your horse to their stall, or if you're someone that's just shipping in, you get your horse to day trailer parking, is you're going to come to rider check-in. That's humans only. Don't bring your horses with you. Dogs are fine, but no horses. It's right off of Nina Bonnie Road. It's going to be in the show office this time. Normally we're in a tent outside of the show office, but we will be in the show office this time. So you'll come up to the windows and check in. On Monday, the hours for rider check-in will be from 12 to 5. And on Tuesday, they will be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're not going to be able to make either of those times for check-in and for your arrival exam, if you plan on moving in after 4 p.m. on Tuesday, you need to let me know now. Send me an email because we need to make alternate arrangements for your arrival exam and for rider check-in. Because rider check-in will be closed after 4 p.m. on Tuesday. So again, if you're not going to make that, you need to reach out to me now so we can make alternate arrangements. You will not be able to compete if you have not completed rider check-in and your horse has not passed their arrival exam. So it's super important that we make those arrangements now. At rider check-in, we're going to be making sure that you guys have uploaded your Coggins, your health cert, and your vaccination record of your horses records anyway. Please upload them in advance in the trainer portal. I will show you how to do that now. So if you're in the portal, it is very easy, but I know it's a little bit hidden. So you're in the My Horse registration section. It's just, you go to the actual horses entry right here, upload view documents and hit go. You'll just select whichever file you need to upload. And if you're unsure of if they've uploaded or not, just scroll down a little bit and you can see what has successfully uploaded. The bill of sale is for if you sell the horse. It's not for when you acquired the horse. Though if you have that and you want to share it with us, that's fine. But this is not a requirement. So don't get confused or stressed about that. The medication report form is only if your horse requires one based off the USEF drug and medication regulations. So if your horse does require a medication report form, make sure you upload that prior to the start of competition, and you'll do that in the portal as well. Let's see. So we'll review those documents, make sure they're good. If you have not uploaded them yet already, chances are if there's a line, we're going to send you to the back of the line and ask you to get online and upload those. If there's not a line, we can help you upload them. But it's really going to save you and us a lot of time if you make sure those are uploaded in the portal ahead of time. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to pick up your competitor packet, and that's going to have your bridle number, your back number, your schooling tickets, your stall card, everything you're going to need for the week. If you're in barrel racing, your barrel schooling ticket's going to be in there as well. You're going to get your completion saddle pad and ribbon. That is per horse, not per rider. So if you're on a team, just be prepared that you're going to get one ribbon and one saddle pad for the horse. You're not going to get one for each team member. We will also have additional freebies from our sponsors, most likely. And this will be where you can sign up for the stall decorating contest. If you do not do it ahead of time, the link to sign up for the stall decorating contest is in the newsletter as well. You can do that now. You can sign up anytime until I believe 5 p.m. on Thursday. So you have plenty of time to sign up. But if you need help, we can help you do that at Rider Check-in. We will also be signing people up for prop schooling that are in freestyle at Rider Check-in. We will have a list of the different times available, and you'll sign up for whatever time works with your schedule, or whatever time is available. There's limited availability, and if you come later, you might not get to pick a time. You might just have whatever's left. And that's on the schooling schedule, but we've broken it up into 2 different days now. So you'll either prop school late Tuesday night or late Wednesday night. Those are for freestyle only. That's a dedicated prop schooling time. It just gives you enough time to run through your freestyle routine. There's also a link here to upload your freestyle music in advance. That is the preferred method. We would prefer that you either link a YouTube video or send us a file through that form. If for some reason that's not an option for you, we will also accept music on USB drives at check-in. Music is not going to be accepted after 5 p.m. on Tuesday, so make sure it's uploaded to that form or it's in my hands before 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Like I said, don't bring your horse to Rider Check-in, please. Horses are not allowed on Nina Bonnie. You should be using the horse paths to move your horses around the park, whether that's hand walking or riding. They should not be on the roads. Course maps will be available online and posted outside of the rings where applicable. We will not have printed forms of the course maps to hand out at check-in. So keep that in mind. You can go look at them online or you can go look at them at the arena. Arrival exam. So as I said earlier, every horse is going to need to pass their arrival exam in order to compete. The arrival exam, at least the first part of it, is performed barn side, stall side. So once you check in, you're going to be placed in the queue for the arrival exam. The vets hope to get to your stall within 30 minutes of you checking in. So please plan that once you check in, you're going to be waiting at your stall, watching that queue to see when you're up next. If there's a big backup, we'll let you guys know. If they're running on time or ahead of schedule, we'll let you know if they're going to be at your stall super fast. But it is your responsibility to monitor that queue and make sure you are at the barn when the vet is there and reaches your name in the queue. So you cannot do rider check-in until your horse is on the property, because as soon as we check you in online, you're going to pop up in the queue for the vets. They're going to come to your stall, perform the first phase of the arrival exam. Once that part is done, they're going to give you instructions, tell you to walk your horse over to barns 1 through 4 to do the soundness portion of the exam. Again, if you're not going to arrive within check-in time, you need to let me know now so we can make alternate arrangements. Once your horse has passed the arrival exam, you will get blue stickers that need to go on your horse's bridle number. You will not be allowed in the competition venues without that blue sticker on preliminary competition days. You can school without the arrival exam. If there's a backup and it's taking them longer to get to your stall, you can go do your schooling, but most likely they're going to be running on time and they're going to be at your stall within 30 minutes. You're not going to have time to go do schooling before your arrival exam. So keep that in mind as well. Horse health requirements. The deadline to have your horse vaccinated against EHV1 has passed. They needed to get that vaccine by September 25th. So they needed to have it no earlier than April 9th and no later than September 25th. If your horse has been vaccinated in that period, they're good. Do not vaccinate them again. If you do, the horse will be outside that period and they will not be able to compete. Horses that have insufficient health paperwork will be moved into a quarantine stall and the trainers will be asked to remove them off property as soon as possible. Poggins are within 12 months. Your health certificate, if you're traveling from outside of the state of Kentucky, is within 30 days of your move-in date. If you're within the state of Kentucky, it's 12 months. That's all listed in the trainer portal as well and in the rule book with exact dates. Let's see. In order to pass the arrival exam, all horses also need to have a microchip, and that microchip needs to be registered to them through the jockey club. If your horse does not yet have a microchip, or the microchip number that you recorded with us does not match what the jockey club has in their system, I have sent you an email about that. That needs immediate attention, so that we can get that all figured out. Your horse will not pass the arrival exam if the vets scan them and they can't find a microchip anywhere, and there's no microchip registered to the jockey club. It's a very easy fix, so make sure you guys get ahead of that now. Competitor numbers will be in your packets, but there will be a bridle number and a back number for everybody. If your horse is in the marketplace, they will have a green sticker. If they're in the brooder mare division, they will have a pink sticker. And once they pass the arrival exam, you will be handed a blue sticker. Those all go on your bridle numbers. You'll also have back numbers. If you're in dressage, you don't have to wear a back number in dressage. Those of you in field hunters and eventing will have numbers for penny inserts for cross country and field hunters as well. Anytime your horse is out of their stall, they need to have a bridle number on. That's non-compete horses, that's tip horses, that's makeover horses. Every single horse, when they're outside of their stall, needs to have a bridle number on. If you have registered your horse, if you're bringing a non-compete horse and you paid to bring them, they're on your final entry, there will be a bridle number specifically for them in your competitor packet at rider check-in. If you are bringing a tip horse along with you and you're bringing them before tip opens their check-in later on Tuesday, come to me. I will have temporary numbers for you that you can use until tip check-in opens. If you don't want to use a bridle number, we've had people put tape on their halter with the horse's bridle number and Sharpie on it so that they don't have to walk around with the bridle number on their halter. Whatever you want to do, that's fine, but some sort of number needs to be on your horse at all times when they're outside of the stall. Schooling. So the schooling schedule is also in the newsletter. I can pull it up now if you guys want to have a look at it. It's right here. You see that? Doesn't look like it. Hold on. No, you can't see it. Okay. So the schooling schedule here identifies what venues are open for schooling at what time. Ticketed schooling is only applicable to competition venues. Warm-up arenas are open schooling all the time until 6 p.m. most days. We will lock those arenas. So after 6 p.m., you won't be able to get in them. Cross-country, field hunters, and competitive trail courses are open for on-foot inspection only. And non-compete horses are not permitted in the competition venues. If you are walking your competitive trail course, your field hunter course, your cross-country course, do that on foot. No golf carts, no motorized bikes or anything of any kind. That is on foot inspection only, and do not bring your horses with you. Horses are not permitted on the course until their ride time. Each horse is provided with 2 schooling tickets and 2 schooling tickets only. Additional schooling tickets are not available for purchase, nor are they to be bartered or traded between competitors. There's no circumstance under which a horse should be using more than 2 schooling tickets. The schooling schedule is strictly enforced, and competitors in violation of the schedule or who are uncooperative with schooling attendance risk being removed from the event. If an arena is not listed on the schooling schedule, is locked, or otherwise appears to be closed, it is not available for use. Packing around the park is welcome as long as you stay away from the outdoor courses that we talked about, and competitors that want to cross-country school may consider shipping over to Masterson Station. And for those of you wondering about lunging, there is an arena dedicated for lunging. It is over by the Deaver office, by the stabling. Catch riding and scratch forms are done in the portal as well. So if you need to nominate a catch rider or you need to scratch a horse for any reason, you will do that here in the portal. You'll see here there's request a catch rider or submit a scratch form. There are strict rules about catch riding. So if you need a catch rider, make sure you thoroughly read page 15 in the rule book and you're caught up on the rules. That's not something that we take lightly. So make sure you're fully informed on that before you nominate a catch rider. Should you need to scratch for any reason, anytime, you have to do that through the portal. Emailing me is not appropriate. Texting me is not appropriate. Submitting that scratch form is the only way to scratch your horse. If you do not properly scratch your horse, it will result in a $100 fine, no-show fee that must be paid before you can participate in any other RRP related event, another thoroughbred makeover, etc. So please make sure you do that with sufficient time. If you are scratching last minute, we ask that you submit your scratch form in the portal and then walk over to the in-gate and notify the steward directly. At this point, refunds on entry fees are no longer available. Ride times and stabling have been published. That's the cutoff for any sort of partial refund on final entry fees. But we can convert your fees to a donation and send you a tax receipt if you'd like. And if that's the case, email Molly and she can do that for you. Registration fees that you paid in the beginning of the year are non-refundable. There's no point in which they are refundable once you've been accepted. But those are also eligible to be turned into a tax receipt if you're not able to make it to the event. There is a farrier on site during the event. That's Jeremiah. His phone number is in here as well. Information about where to find the farrier shelter is in there as well. It's adjacent to barns 8 through 19. So if you need him, give him a call or walk on over to the farrier shelter. The vets from Hagyard are available for you guys, whether it's for emergencies or for PPEs. Their number is in here as well. So if your horse is having some sort of medical emergency, call Hagyard, don't call me. You're going to want to get directly in touch with them. I can help you with stabling. I can help you with other emergencies that don't involve your horse needing medical attention. Your horse needs medical attention, please call the vet. Horse park policy is in Deaver. So your stalls, when you get there, they have nothing in them. There's no like screw eye for buckets. There's no stall mats. They are on concrete. There is nothing. So make sure you bring your pitchforks, your muck buckets, your water bucket hangers, anything you need to set up your stall for the week. People have differing opinions whether they prefer to bed deep or to rent stall mats or bring their own. But Deaver has everything you need and they will deliver it straight to your stall. Their website and their phone number is in this newsletter as well. So they have feed, bedding, stall mats, golf carts. If you want to rent golf carts, that's all done through Deaver. So please make sure you've got all that set up. There's also a Tractor Supply not far away and other places. So if you don't want to go through Deaver, you've got plenty of options. You can also bring your own stuff. There's nothing against that either. But Deaver is convenient for those of you that would like to use them. Fire marshal policies, appliances must have 3 prongs. Converters are not acceptable, so that goes for your horse's fans. No 2-prong Vox fans. Don't daisy chain your power strips. Don't pinch cords indoors or windows. And extension cords must be plugged into a wall, not a power strip. The horse park does allow exhibitors to bring their own golf carts, mini bikes, scooters, electric bikes, etc. Drivers must be 16 and observe the speed limit. Again, horses are not permitted on the roads in the Kentucky Horse Park. When you're riding or leading your horse around, use the designated horse paths only. This is for your horse's safety. So please, if I see you on Nina Bonnie, I will yell at you. Competitor party tickets. This is just another little reminder for you guys. Those are on sale now. The sale will end either when they sell out or on, no, I did not put that in here. They will sell on Tuesday. That's when it closes. Tuesday or Wednesday. It's on there. Anyway, please purchase your tickets in advance. If it's anything like last year, they will sell out. And tickets to the competitor party are not included with your entry. Your competitor party ticket does include 1 drink voucher and 1 meal voucher, but it is not free. It's not included with your entry, so make sure you buy your tickets in advance. It is really fun. Everyone has a good time, so I highly recommend it. It's a great way to celebrate your accomplishments of just getting there. So make sure to purchase your tickets, please. We've got a whole bunch of other things going on social calendar wise. We've got seminars, we've got our new barrels and brews, and we have our stall decorating contest. All that information is in this newsletter and on our website. We do drug test all discipline winners, and we do random drug testing as well. So just be aware of that. And make sure you read up on restricted and prohibited substances. We follow USCF's rules and regulations on that. That's linked here as well. They have a hotline if you can't figure it out, and they also have an email. You'll need to contact them directly to ask if any sort of medication that your horse is on is allowed. And if it is allowed with a medication report form, or if it's not allowed at all. You'll want to contact them directly. Don't ask me. I'm just going to tell you to go contact them. I don't want to mislead you in any way, and getting your information from them directly is just the best way to go. Scoring and special awards. We do live scoring, and that scores are posted on the website as soon as calculations are processed in the show office. So you'll see on the results page, and it'll indicate whether or not the scoring is still in progress for the day or the day and division, along with a timestamp. So please give us some time. Sometimes we find mistakes. Don't freak out yet. But once it is timestamped as complete for the day, that's when the protest period has opened, and you have 12 hours, I believe, from scores being marked scoring complete for that day to file a protest if you think there's something wrong with your score, or if you disagree with them for any reason. That information is all in the rule book as well. We have a pretty intense policy about that as well, and we try to help you guys out however we can. Just make sure you're up to date on the time and on how all that works. Again, there are forms in the portal to file your protest. That's not something that you're going to email me about. It's not something you're going to text me about, call me about. We will not take protests in any form other than the online form through the portal. So if you come up to me at the makeover and you try to file a complaint in person, I can't take it. So read up on that in the rule book as well. In a similar vein, rule violation complaints. If there's something going on at the event that you don't like, if you see a competitor violating the rules or the code of conduct in any way, please file a report with us about that. We can't do anything about it if we don't know about it. I know it's not fun to tattletale on people, but you guys are there to represent the mission, to represent the organization, to represent this breed. And we want to do that in a positive light. So if you're seeing anything that goes against that goes against our rules, our code of conduct, please report that to us. The way to do that is through the contact us form. It'll ask you what you're contacting us about. You'll select rule violation and you'll give us the information there. And then we will take that process over from there. It's really not fun hearing after the fact about potential rules being broken or just inappropriate conduct. And, hearing like, well, the staff didn't do anything about this. We can't do anything about things that we don't know about. So it's really, really important that you notify us using the appropriate channels. We have an infractions committee for this reason that's separate from the staff that reviews these things and makes those decisions. These are things that we take very seriously. More exciting, more lighthearted is the finale, view awards, and prize money. So the top 5 horses from each discipline in the retiring racehorse division will come back on Saturday to compete in the finale. Those horses must attend the finale briefing in the covered arena in the club lounge at 9 a.m. on Friday. All that information is in here as well. There's also arena familiarization for horses that make it into the finale on Friday afternoon. There is a jog that they need to pass that will be in the covered arena this year. Again, all that information, all those times are in this newsletter. They're on the schooling schedule. We have all that information accessible to you guys. We do award ribbons based off of preliminary competition for 1st through 10 overall, 1st through 10 junior, 1st through 10 amateur, 1st through 10 team for every discipline. That's for the retiring racehorse division. Former broodmare division will get 1st through 10 overall for each discipline. That's all based off of preliminary competition. We have a whole separate set of ribbons for 1st through 5 for the finale, because horses that compete in the finale are competing on a clean slate score. Up until last year, it used to be that your score was average with your preliminary competition scores. It is now a completely clean slate, so it can shake things up a little bit. And so there are 2 sets of ribbons there. You'll get your preliminary competition ribbon and your finale ribbon. Prize money is based off of prize money for 1st through 5 is based off of finale results, not preliminary competition results. But prize money for top amateur, top junior, top team, special awards, it's all based off of those preliminary competition results after the protest period ends. So ribbons and prizes for each discipline's retiring racehorse division winner, 1st place junior, 1st place team, 1st place amateur, special awards, and best condition will be called up to the stage during the competitor party. We will contact you to notify you if you've won one of these awards, and make sure that you guys are joining us at the awards party. 2nd through 10th place for any of those is not called up onto the stage. So we will not be contacting you. But if you can't make it to the party, if you didn't get a ticket and they sold out, or you can't come, you're leaving earlier on Friday, ribbons will be available for pickup in the big barn before the party starts on Friday once the protest period has closed. So you don't necessarily have to have a party ticket to pick up your ribbon. If you can't pick up your ribbon, if you're leaving Thursday night, if you're leaving early Friday morning before ribbons are available, before the protest period is closed, you can email me anytime before November 30th, and I will invoice you a small invoice to cover the shipping costs of the ribbon, and I will ship those directly to you once we get back from the makeover. If you don't email me by November 30th, your ribbon will be recycled for another project or for a future year. Let's see. The winners of 1st place in each discipline, or 1st through 10 in each discipline, 1st place junior, 1st place amateur, 1st place team, best condition, special awards, and 1st place broodmare are all invited to participate in the ribbon ceremony during the finale for their respective disciplines. Just make sure you come appropriately dressed, appropriate footwear, either riding your horse or they're bridled, or controlled in some manner, please. So let's see, following the results of the finale competition for each discipline, the winner of each discipline will return to the covered arena for the Thoroughbred Makeover Champion and People's Choice Award voting, and that will conclude the finale. Prize money checks are mailed after the completion of after the competition, once drug test results have been returned to the office. This is normally a few weeks following the competition, and checks in excess of $600 to US citizens and green card holders will require a W-9 form. And the office will send you those W-9 forms if we need them. So ASPCA Makeover Marketplace and Right Horse Adoption Barn. If your horse is in the marketplace for sale, they are adoption. That online catalog is live and it's being promoted on social media. Like I talked about earlier, your horse will have a green sticker on their bridle number and back number, identifying them as a horse that is for sale and is part of the marketplace. We have a dedicated arena for trials. It is adjacent to Barn 7. That's the marketplace trial arena. If you have someone coming to try your horse, they need to first go to the info desk in the covered arena and fill out a liability waiver. They will be given a wristband indicating that they have filled out that waiver and they can go ride your horse. It's your responsibility to schedule those trial rides and respond to any interested buyers or adopters. If you make a sale, congratulations, please report your sale through the portal. Best way to do that, My Horse registrations, update/transfer ownership, and you're going to give us information on that sale. It's really important. It's part of our mission to gather that data. Your specific data is not to be shared with anyone. It's just so that we can crunch those numbers. So I'm not going to be going to anyone saying, hey, X sold this horse for X to X. That's all private information. We will not share it, but we do really ask that you report those sales to us. It helps us with our mission and helps us collect the data that we need. Barn 5 will have all right horse adoption barn participants. So those horses are all for adoption, also available to try. So please stop by and do some shopping. Let's see. Trainer Fund a Need contest. We have done a little bit of a competition this year for you guys where you can do a personal fundraiser for our Fund a Need fundraiser. And the trainer that raises the most money through their fundraiser will get a $375 RRP gift card that can either be used to future years' application fees or in our store for some merch. That closes October 14th. So if you haven't started your personal campaign, there is still time, and links on how to do that are in this newsletter as well. So it's a fun way to maybe earn some entry fees back. Show photographer. This year, our show photography team will be headed up by Sarah. Photos will be available within 48 hours of the completion of competition. And Sarah will be available in the vendor fair in the covered arena to answer any of your questions. There is a link in this newsletter to where you'll be able to find those photos once they're ready. Approved event photographers, like private event photographers, will be offering additional services, such as private ride time and event coverage, portrait sessions, all that fun stuff. The list of approved photographers is on our website and it's linked in this newsletter. So go ahead and take a look at that if you maybe wanted to book a portrait session. Photographers that have not been approved by us and do not have the credentials to be there will be asked to leave the premises. It's not hard to become an approved photographer, so information on the link of approved photographers also has the form to become an approved photographer. So keep that in mind. Volunteers, we can always use and need volunteers, so please sign up for shifts. Have any family members coming with you sign up for shifts. We're happy to work around your ride times. If there's not shifts that are in the volunteer portal that work for your ride times, come see Leela at the volunteer booth in the covered arena when you're able, and we're happy to take whatever help we can get for whatever period of time you can offer. We've got some pretty sweet stuff for our volunteers. They get 20% off in the RRP booth. They get a free hat, free t-shirt, snacks, lunch, refreshments. And they get tickets for volunteer only Yeti cooler raffles. So highly suggest maybe putting a little bit of time into volunteering. We would certainly appreciate it. We have our silent auction going on as well, and donations for that are also highly appreciated. That will go live on October 7th, but we will be taking in-person donations as well between 10 a.m. and noon in the covered arena on October 10th. Link to fill out a form to indicate that you will be donating something to the silent auction is in this newsletter. We have thank you cards available to be filled out in the covered arena, and we super appreciate it. If you would, whether that's for you want to write a thank you card to a sponsor or benefactor, your favorite volunteer, staff member, official, anyone who made your makeover can head over. I believe it's in the info desk and write a thank you note, and we will get those to the appropriate people. So that's just a nice way to make somebody's day. Write them a little sweet note. We super appreciate that as well. And we also have our People's Choice Vendor of the Show award voting. So as you're perusing the vendors, keep an eye out for your favorite booth setup, and go ahead and vote for them for the vendor award. That is also available. Voting is also available at the info desk, and voting will close at noon on Friday. So please also participate in that. It helps out whichever vendor wins, they get a discount for next year. And it also just is a morale boost. So please be kind to our vendors and make sure to participate in voting. And then we have a ton of discipline specific notes, patterns, and course maps. And I am not really going to go through every single one of these. This is your responsibility to make sure you know how your discipline is being run. And if you have any questions, send me an email. You can ask a question during this newsletter, but not everyone in this webinar is going to be in all 10 disciplines. So I'm not going to go through and explain every single discipline to all of you. So that about covers the newsletter. I am going to jump into some of the questions that were told to me ahead of time. Let's see here. I also, before I jump into questions, want to make you guys aware that there are multiple events going on at the horse park during the week of the Makeover. You might not see any of these events happening, and you might. And we just ask that you are respectful to those events and their officials. So just be respectful and courteous, and keep in mind that there are multiple events going on. Remember, you represent us, you represent the organization. So be kind, be a good representative and a good ambassador for the breed and for RB. So some of the questions that have been submitted ahead of time, I'm going to jump into. While I'm doing that, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments on Facebook or in the Q&A on Zoom, and I will get to those after I get through these questions. We've already touched on this one a bit, but the first question was, what is the breakdown of parking fees? Is there an additional charge for drop trailer parking plus regular parking? There's just one charge for parking, and that's $18 for a parking pass for the week. That's through the horse park, not through us. Drop trailer parking is included. It's free. There's no additional charge to put your trailer in the drop trailer parking lot. But something very important to note, as a lot of you have heard, there is a Darius Rucker concert going on in the Rolex Arena on Friday, which is why dressage has been moved to the Walnut Arena. Because of that, you will have a parking pass in your competitor packet specifically for Friday. You will not be able to get into the horse park without that parking pass. We have included that in your competitor packet, so you don't have to worry about that. And we have a ton of extras. So if you have multiple vehicles, you're going to need more than one pass to get you in on Friday, so you can park where you need to. and you don't have to park with all the concert goers, come see me. I'd be happy to give you another pass. Let's see. Are readers allowed for dressage and freestyle? Yes, readers are allowed for dressage. For your test anyway, you could have someone read for your demo as well. If you have a plan for your demo, or if you're just recycling a different test for your demo, you can use a reader there. There's no rule against using a reader for freestyle. But please remember that we do not allow you to use a mic during your freestyle. There's no narration. So in that big arena with your freestyle music playing, it's going to be really hard to hear a reader, and we don't know your routine ahead of time, so no one knows if you're going off pattern. So you can, if there's a feasible way for you to use a reader in freestyle, go for it. But logistically, that might be a little bit difficult. Is drop trailer parking secured / is there security? Not to my knowledge. I would definitely suggest, if you can, to get a lock for your hitch, and absolutely lock your tap room on your trailer if you have one. Just keep any valuables secure, or take them out of your trailer and bring them to the hotel, the Airbnb, home with you. Don't leave them in your trailer if you can't properly secure it. Will field hunters and cross-country courses be open to walk after 5 p.m. on Tuesday and during preliminary competition on Wednesday / Thursday? Those courses can be walked anytime, as once they are open and set for walking. We put 5 p.m. on there because after 5 p.m. you better be booking it over to the covered arena for the competitor briefing. You can go back after the competitor briefing and walk that course if you want, but you should be in the covered arena for the competitor briefing at 6. So you can walk it Wednesday, Thursday. Just be aware that there will be horses on the course those days, so be careful. Let's see. Rulebook states 2 schooling tickets per horse. What about horses that are in 2 completely different disciplines with more than 2 competition venues? So think eventing plus any other discipline that we offer. The rule is still 2 schooling tickets per horse. That's how we keep it equitable and fair for everybody. Some people will not use their schooling tickets at all, just because of what time they get into the park or scheduling issues they might have. And some people are entered in disciplines that don't have the ability to do schooling at all. So people in competitive trail, people in field hunters, and I mean, eventing, you also can't school your cross-country course. So it is up to you to decide which 2 venues you believe your horse is going to benefit from schooling in ahead of time. Use your 2 tickets wisely. And like I said, there is no circumstance in which I should see a horse using more than 2 of those general schooling tickets. So I'm not talking about barrel racing schooling, and I'm not talking about freestyle prop schooling, but those general schooling tickets for that schooling schedule on Tuesday, each horse gets 2. There's no circumstance in which a horse should be using more than 2. And there's just logistically not enough time for every horse to be able to school in every single possible venue they might be in. Our stewards they'd be there all day and night. So please keep that in mind, and please make sure you're being kind to them as well. They work really hard. Will we be able to lunge after getting settled Monday night? So that's on the schooling schedule as well. There's the dedicated lunging arena, and it will be open until 6 p.m. on Monday. What is the best way to sign both myself and my husband up for volunteer positions via the website if we would like to volunteer together? So take a look at those shifts, see if there's any open shifts that are the same that you both would like to sign up for. If there's not really quite something that works out, then go ahead and see Leela in the covered arena in person once you get there. And she'd be happy to help you out. And we'd be happy to have you and your husband volunteer. When will tip ride times be posted? Tip plans on having their ride times posted early next week, and they will send an email out to those of you that are participating to let you know when those are posted. If you're not already following the event on Facebook, it is recommended that you do so, as that's another good way to stay up to date. But please remember that while we are co-hosting Tip Champs, Tip is their own separate entity with their own separate staff and their own rule book. So please direct any other tip related questions to them directly. I'm happy to help you, but I am not Tip. So I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction in any way. If we won't arrive by 5 p.m. on October 9th, Monday, do we go to the stalls to complete rider check-in on Tuesday, or do we make other arrangements for arrival? So that is correct. If you come after rider check-in is closed on Monday, just take your horse to the stall, get them settled in, and come to me at rider check-in first thing in the morning, so you can get your competitor packet, your bridle tags, and you can get your arrival exam done. The only time you need to make other arrangements for your arrival and your arrival exam is if you're coming after 4 p.m. on Tuesday. If we are in the temporary barns that do not have a full door, how do we secure our tack stalls? So, as some of you might have seen, the temporary barns that the horse park has put up for barns 8 through 12, they do not have the full closed door like they do in all the permanent barns. My advice would be to put a lock on your stall door and not put anything towards the front of the stall that someone can reach over and grab. Don't leave a tack trunk out that someone can use as a ladder. But overall, like, it's still going to be a decently tall door, and Elaine and all of her people will be there for night watch. So someone would have to be pretty bold to try to climb over that door and steal your stuff. But that is something you'd want. You could talk to the horse park if you want. Those are their stalls, not ours. But again, I would just suggest putting everything towards the back of the stall, locking the stall with whatever kind of lock you can bring, and not leaving anything out in front of the stall that they could use as a little stepping stool. But hoisting themselves over the door would be pretty difficult. Another thing you could do, that we do as well sometimes for like vendor fairs and stuff, you can go buy yourself a roll of snow fence and just zip tie it to that open portion of the stall so that no one can climb in if that's something that you're worried about. And anything that's super valuable that you're really worried about, bring home with you, bring to the hotel, Airbnb, whatever. You know, I don't think anyone would go through the effort of trying to climb over your stall door. I think that'd be a little bit bold when there will be other people on the grounds at all times. But if you're worried, try some snow fence or bring stuff home with you. Or you can contact the horse park directly and air your grievances. But those are not grievances that I can fix, I am afraid. Okay. Do they drag the arena for barrels, and how often do they do it for the flattened barrels, and how accurate are the ride times? So we drag every 5 runs for barrels. We do not drag for the flat pattern for barrels. If you have more than 1 horse in barrels, there should be roughly an hour between your flat ride times. The flat portion goes really quickly, so an hour was about the most I could space it out, because it's the whole thing is only taking about an hour and some change. Those flat patterns only take about 3 minutes a person or something like that. So my suggestion would be, if you have more than 2 horses in barrels, that for you get your first horse tacked up, and when you're schooling, you have an extra set of hands that's getting your second horse tacked up for you. So once you're done with your flat pattern, you can just get on the next one and start schooling. And by that point, they should be ready for their ride time. But yes, we do drag every 5 runs on Wednesday and Thursday night. So that does give you a bit more time there. Ride times for, I would say, pretty much every discipline are accurate. Our stewards run a tight ship, and we stay on time, and sometimes we run early. So please plan accordingly, and do not plan on rings running behind. I'm not saying it won't happen, but it's pretty rare. Most often we run ahead of schedule, so those are accurate. And I have a similar note on eventing. I have gotten a couple questions about the time in between stadium and cross country. We run our eventing discipline like a 1-day horse trial, like you would in area 2, which is where we are. So that means you show jump in your cross country kit, and you just walk from you and your horse walk over from stadium once you're done straight to cross country. There's no going back to your stall and tacking up, like switching over your tack, anything like that. It's straight over to cross country. So I can't there's no amount of moving of ride times I can do to give you more space in between those two. Just make sure that you've got your cross-country vest on, your studs in if you're using them, your whatever you might need, your boots, whatever you need for cross-country, you should plan on doing stadium in, so you can just go from one to another. I think that is it. So, Molly, let's tackle some questions. Were you able to get on Facebook?
Well, hello. Yes, I am.
Okay, cool.
My camera still does not seem to want to let me be seen, but as long as you guys can hear me, that's all that matters. So let's start. I'm going to go in order, so please be patient with me if it takes me a minute to get to your question. Let's start over here. Holly, you've had your hand up on Zoom for a bit. Do you have a question you'd like to throw in the chat, or if you're able to unmute yourself and ask, go ahead.
She won't be able to unmute herself, so please, if you have a question, put it in the Q&A
Yep.
section.
I'll come back to you. Let me go over here. Annika would like to know if there are any arenas or rings that will be open for schooling after 5 p.m.
If it says that they close on 5 p.m. here, then no. Most likely not. We will put locks on arenas once they are closed up for the day. But you still will be able to hack around the horse park. So, yes, that is the answer to that one.
Haley would like to know if there's any way for her to delete some of her uploaded documents to clean up her portal. She uploaded some multiple times, so there are some duplicates.
I don't believe you can. If you really want to, you can email me and I can delete them for you. But we don't necessarily care if there's multiple, but if it's bothering you for any reason at all, shoot me an email and I'm happy to delete duplicates on our end for you, and that'll clear that up.
We have a junior over here on Facebook. She would like to know, she said, is it okay if her parents are taking pictures of her? They don't count as photographers, correct?
Yeah, they do not count as photographers, as long as they're not being paid to be there,
Right.
then you're fine.
There you go. Okay, Meadow on Zoom, that's to you as well. It's perfectly fine for your family members to take pictures of you. Meadow would also like to know if people dress up for the awards ceremony.
That is personal preference. We do have sponsors there, so we would like it if you guys, maybe don't come covered in mud, but you don't necessarily have to dress to the nines. Some people do. Some people come a bit more casual. It's whatever you're comfortable with. We know some of you will be coming straight from doing barn chores, and others will have time to go back to the hotel, Airbnb, whatever, and freshen up a bit. So it really is whatever you're comfortable with.
Haley would also like a reminder of the deadline to purchase tickets for the competitor dinner, the competitor party, I'm assuming.
That is I can tell you. I believe it's the Tuesday or Wednesday. The sale ends on October 11th, so on Wednesday of the makeover. Wednesday, October 11th is when ticket sales will close if they have not sold out already. Last year, I believe tickets had sold out by the Monday of makeover week, so keep that in mind as well.
We hate for you to miss out. All right, Rebecca would like to know if helmet cameras will be permitted on cross country.
What was that?
If helmet cameras are permitted on cross country.
I believe so. If they're not, that will be in the rule book. I honestly don't know off the top of my head, but I don't see why not.
Cece would like to know how many minutes of schooling time do we get per ticket?
It's really going to depend on the rings and how the steward is running the ring. If the ring is super crowded, they might give you a very limited amount of time in the ring, just give you time to, pop over one fence if you're jumping, do a couple laps around the arena, they'll let you know. If the ring is totally empty, you might have a little bit more time. So it really just depends on how the steward is running the ring and how busy it is.
Alright. If the arenas run ahead of schedule, do ride times move up, or do we plan to ride at the predetermined ride time?
I would say for the most part, plan to ride at your scheduled ride time. If they're running ahead of schedule, we will make a barn call and ask for you to come to that arena early if you are able. But we understand for some people that won't be possible. So just because things are running ahead of schedule, you won't be required to come before your ride time. You will be asked to if you can. But you just can't be late. You can be on time or early, and early is optional, but you cannot be late.
Alright. When are competitive trail riders allowed to walk their course?
That is on the schooling schedule as well. There's a dedicated walk with the officials at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Tuesday. But other than that, it is open for on-foot inspection on Tuesday.
Holly has a good question. Are the temp stalls on concrete like the permanent stalls?
As far as I am aware, yes. If anyone who has been to the horse park since those temporary stalls have gone up and they know something differently, please go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. But as far as I'm aware, and from what I've heard, yes, those barns are also on concrete.
I'm also happy to check in on that. So Holly, if you want to email me, you are more than welcome to do so. Sarah says, if you make it to the finale, can someone jog your horse for you?
Yes, if you are uncomfortable for any reason, you can have somebody else jog your horse for you. I've done it for people in the past. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you. You should be there. But you don't necessarily need to be the one physically jogging the horse, especially if physically, for whatever reason, you might not be able to, or just mentally you're too nervous. We've had that happen a few times before. There's someone else that's happy to do it. If I happen to have time, I'm happy to do it. I like to jog horses, so I'll do it for you. But yes. And let's see. Do we have any other questions?
All right. Laura would like to know, how do we sign up for schooling time in the ring and on the eventing course?
You do not sign up for schooling times. They are just open for the predetermined times on the schooling schedule, and you go there and you hand the steward your ticket, and that is for show jumping and dressage only. Cross-country course is not open for schooling at all. You can walk it on foot as a human, no horses, but it is not open for schooling.
Hey, do you have any other questions? Ooh, that's rough, Sarah. Good luck with the ankle.
Oh no.
Definitely worth a substitute jog.
Yeah. E-bikes on the cross-country course. Gray area, I'm gonna say probably no. Remember that our cross-country course is super condensed. It's in the steeplechase infield. It's not gonna be like a super long walk. But probably not. Maybe, but probably not. All right. We want to do a last call for questions, guys. I'll give you another minute or two.
I like to read. Okay. Can we arrive Monday by chance? We are coming from California. Yes.
Yes. Stabling opens at noon on Monday, so you can arrive anytime after noon on Monday.
You are welcome. Josie asked, do we need to submit music for dressage demo ride?
No, the dressage demo ride is not done to music. If you make it to the finale, you can, and we will have a spot for you to do that, but preliminary competition dressage demo ride is not done to music. Think of it as a musicless musical freestyle.
Anyone else? Anything else? You're welcome, Josie.
We'll give it about
Yeah,
another 30 seconds and
okay, yeah.
do you have another one?
Can you repeat who we contact to verify what supplements are good to use, okay to use?
USCF. USCF has a hotline and an email that you can use to contact them directly to see what medications, supplements, drugs are restricted or not. So you'll go direct into them. That's on the USCF website, and there's a link to their form in the newsletter, and that form also has the contact information on it. And I believe there was a post recently in the trainers group that has the hotline. So you email them and you're not getting a response, you can just call them.
We got a couple more. For a competitive trail, will someone tell us during the course walk where exactly we show up for our ride time?
Yes, it should also be fairly obvious. You'll just go up to the steward with the clipboard somewhere around wherever people are kind of warming up, or the start box for that discipline. But yes, if they don't tell you, the officials are very nice. You can also ask them. But it should hopefully be relatively obvious. I hope. We'll see.
Will the hunter courses be posted early?
They might be, they're not gonna be posted like now early. But they might be posted like a day or two before. But normally we like to wait until the course has been built, just in case any changes need to be made in the building process. So it might not be posted until Monday night. But it will be posted before you ride, if that is what you're asking. And it will also be physically posted on the arena.
Could you please remind us where to find the schooling schedule that we're looking at now?
It is linked in the newsletter that went out tonight. And I believe it is also on the provisional schedule on the website. Let's see here. Schooling schedule right here. If you can't find it in the newsletter, it's right there. It's also linked in the portal. Yes, there's a few different places you can find it. You can find it in the provisional schedule. You can find it in trainer resources in the portal. You can find it linked in the newsletter, which will be in your inbox or in the trainer newsletter section in the portal.
Okay. Will the arrival exam have certain times to check in, or will it be first come, first serve?
The arrival exam is based off of rider check-in. So once you complete your rider check-in, you're placed in a queue, and that is in order of when you complete rider check-in. You'll be able to see that queue online, so you can see your spot. And essentially, as soon as you check in, likely within 30 minutes of that will be at your stall to start the arrival exam. Did that answer that question? So I guess, yes, it is first come, first serve. You don't necessarily sign up ahead of time.
Katie would like to know if. Okay, for jumpers and stadium. Oh, for stadium jumping and eventing, are we allowed to course walk in the arena?
Yes. Yes, that's fine. And there will be like a dedicated, there normally ends up being a dedicated course walk time for show jumping, with our show jumping steward. So, be on the lookout for an announcement about that, if it has not already been put on the schooling schedule. I have very few brain cells that. Everyone's hard. Okay,
Anyone else?
anything else? While we are wrapping that up, I also want to say, another reminder is, have fun. Because that's something I haven't mentioned. Congratulations, you've been on quite the journey the last year to get to Kentucky. Please just soak it in and have fun and, be a good representative of the breed in your journey, and it's really an accomplishment to get there. So I hope everyone recognizes that and has a good time.
Okay. Oh, we do have a couple more questions.
All right,
How does the show jumping flat pattern tie in with your over fences?
that is in the rule book, but it's essentially one after the other. After one of them, that's all very clearly spelled out in the rule book. You do your flat pattern, then you do your gymnastics, then you do round one, then you do round two. So you never, unless you're a team entry, you never actually leave your arena. You do it all consecutively.
Okay. Laura, great question. This will probably come back to me. She would like to know how she can sign up for volunteering with other disciplines around her ride times. Is there a way to sign up outside of the 8-hour shifts? How can she get assigned? And who can she be put in contact with? Laura, I'm gonna say email me, and I am kind of the liaison with our volunteer coordinator. So I think I would be best suited to help you figure out what you would like to do and a time that works best for you. Again, my email is mhutchison@therrp.org. It's on the website, but my last name frequently gets misspelled, so no worries there. But yeah, I'm on the website under everyone else. I'm there, so you can email me about that same question and I will get you handled. Haley would like to know. Oh, good question. Okay. You're welcome, Laura. She sees on the schedule that courses are built and available to walk after 3 p.m. Is this correct, or does she need to connect with the steward?
That is correct. After 3 p.m. on Monday, courses should be built and ready to walk. If they're not, they'll be ready shortly after that. But yes, that is correct. All right, another final call for questions.
Final call again. We'll give you another minute.
Thank you, guys. These have been some great questions. All right, I'm giving it.
Oh, we got a couple more. Oh, no, never mind. That was just a thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Gonna give it another 30 seconds.
I'm sorry you guys can't see Vegas.
I know, just look for the much taller redhead, and that's Molly. The shorter one is me. We won't get offended if you mix us up.
No, you won't.
All right, cool. It looks like those are all the questions for tonight. If you guys have any other questions that pop up, to email me or Molly, or if it's after next Friday, send me a text message. And I am happy to help you guys. And I look forward to seeing all of you very, very soon. So thank you. And thank you, Molly. And good night, everybody.